Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going through the best and worst tattoo TikToks I could find. Let's jump into it. I got this monster throat.
Let's be real, y'all. I got the best tattoo in the game right now.
Monster throat. Monster throat. Energetic neck. Throat monster. It's your goof ass.
Dude. Do we see anything else other than that? One, what a goofball tattoo to get tattooed on your throat. It's one thing if you think that like you're gonna get a Monster Energy drink. Maybe I'll get a Monster Energy drink tattoo just for the goof of it. Just to be like, look at that dumb thing I got. But to get it seriously put on your throat and to think that no one's gonna be making fun of you for that ridiculously ugly, stupid crap you put on your throat, that's crazy, son. That dude needs some uncles who are gonna kick his ass. Dude, you put Monster on your throat? Weird looking, dumb looking, awful lime green color. That ain't the sickest tattoo in the game. That's the most regrettable tattoo in the game. On to the next.
If your girl's covered in tattoos, listen up. The more sporadic, unesthetically placed her ink is, the more emotional trauma she has experienced. She is wearing her story, and it certainly does not look like a happy one. This is analogous to seeing a brightly colored animal in nature. There's a reason for it. They're poisonous, and they're telling you to run, and you are not listening. And I don't mean a rinky-dink dolphin on the rib cage or a heart.
Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. One, I hate when people talk about women with tattoos and they completely ignore the fact that like men get tattoos as well. I'm not feminist hero out here, but it drives me completely crazy when people pretend like humans aren't just humans. Second of all, I could literally play this same fucking game of being like, hey, why do rich white men drive Lamborghinis and Porsches? It's because they grew up thinking they were unworthy of nice things or love or acceptance of who they are. And therefore they need to drive these beautiful cars to make up for the sadness they have within them. And they're literally driving their trauma. Why are sharks and leopards and lions so fast? It's because they're dangerous. See how stupid of an analogy that is? See how many dumb ideas I threw out into everything, but because you're biased in this perspective of being like, fuck this guy, you're like, Kirk sounds right. And it's because this guy's a jackass. And these tactics are not only boring, not only have we seen things like this used a million different times, but do not bring that shit into tattooing. You're a loser, a bum, and it doesn't matter how chiseled your jaw is. Maybe you are unlovable. Maybe you do have to drive a Porsche to have the personality. On to the next. Okay, this is an old beat up arm, and I think we're seeing a dog I think it's a dog. Okay, got a lot of things to say, because there's a lot of things I think. This tattoo is done on an old skin. The way that it's reacting, this is what it's like to tattoo old people's skin. Just a bummer. You know, it always sucks. Any of you have ever done a tattoo on an old person, you know it sucks. If you have an old person and you've seen them get tattooed and you watched your tattooer sweating through their gloves. The other day, this is gross. This is super gross. I was tattooing someone and it's so hot here in Mexico. And I like took off my gloves and I saw like spray of sweat. Just like everywhere. Hit her in the face, didn't notice, thank God. But it was everywhere, disgusting. But yeah, the tattooer is sweating through his gloves because he's like, oh, I'm tattooing an old person and old people suck. Their skin is like paper and their tattoos never look good. But this tattoo doesn't look good, not only because it's on an old person, but because what this person is tattooing is stupid. Look, that's a color, like this light orange thing that on this client is never going to look good. This is a tattoo that should have been black and gray, 100%. Like you're smashing this orangey looking thing into there's a 1 in a million on this tattoo looking good, and it's not happening, okay? It's not happening. Luckily, it's not gonna be there for very long. You know, old people got old people skin. It's a dumb looking tattoo. Honestly, I hate it. Everything about it, from the top to the bottom. But tattooing old people is hard. That's no excuse to be giving out crap ass tats. Next. I love this. So this is a reel. I'm gonna walk you through it by Harry Stees. Whatever, he gets a comment that tells one of his tattoos a bit sloppy. Okay, that's a comment. It's funny because as like a tattooer with any bit of clout or like a little bit of tattoo fame, which is like not, you know, we're Z-list celebrities in the tattoo world. But if you get like 100,000 followers on any sort of platform, you're gonna get a lot of crap in the comments, and this is pretty common. But then he goes and he looks up the artist, tattoo artist of 20 years experience, Southern Skin Illustration, Crispy Beach, Adeline, whatever. And then he proceeds to show you his tattoos, or the person's tattoos who left a bit sloppy. And I can say some of them are all right, most of them are crap, and all of them are boring. That's one of those things that like, it's funny because as a tattoo person who makes tattoo content stuff, the worst comments I get from people are from some of the crappiest tattooers I've ever seen. I have to like hold back this, like almost exclusively the bad comments I get are from crappy tattooers. Now, what does that say about me? A person who makes a living talking about crappy tattoos and making fun of them? I don't know. Maybe it says my tattoos suck. I don't know. Don't really care. If you think they suck, good. If you think his tattoos suck, he'll make a reel out of it. It's really not that important. Something I think about a lot when I talk to other tattooers, I'm like, man, tattooers are so sensitive. They're so baby. They all are like these little things and they just need to be told how great they are constantly. And I'm like, why? Stop being a baby. You're a tattooer. If I've always tattooed like this is my thought process. I don't care if everyone likes my tattoos. In fact, I only want 1% of people who look at my tattoos to be like, I like that. That is totally fine with me. If 1% of the world looks at my tattoos and they go, I like his tattoos, that's a win, dude. That's billions of people right there. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what that has to do with that reel. It just has something to do with like, maybe if you're a tattooer or an artist in general, stop being a big sensitive little baby boy. And like, maybe if you leave comments on people, it's a goofy thing. I think that this guy, this Harry Steezy who made this reel, pretty funny to make fun of it, you know, whatever, on to the next. Now this is a guy or girl, I don't know, who does amazing tattoos, and no matter what anyone says, these are great. Look at this, neo-traditional, traditional, I don't know, somewhere in between, doesn't matter, not really, I love it, it's cool. It's weird and interesting, and the way it's like really designed is intricate and interesting. Just look at it, just look at it. What's my most favorite part about this is the white head part. Instead of putting white or some BS like that in there, they like, I'm gonna leave that space and just leave that gap. Like let it do its thing. Looks beautiful. Vanessa_tattoo, brilliant. Next. In case the music is copywritten, I can't say. This guy is just highlighting it in a very elegant, beautiful way. He's just saying like, oh, all the nice things about these tattoos. They're masterpieces. They're beautiful. They dance on the skin, whether it's color or black and gray. They flow in a way that makes you think, is this a paintbrush or was it a tattoo? Okay? I got no problem with people who don't know anything about tattooing going in and highlighting like, hey, this is what I like as a tattoo or whatever. But I honestly think that like for the most part, these people who go and do this type of stuff are just dumb. Like they don't know anything about tattooing, which is fine. Like that is okay. But I'm gonna tell you, they don't know anything about tattooing. And it drives me kind of crazy because like they do get a lot of views sometimes. Maybe not this guy, but like for every one of these videos that doesn't do well, there's 3 that do well. They're always highlighting the most unique tattooer. And I've talked about this a lot in the past, but it doesn't matter because these people keep popping up. There's always a new tattoo influencer guy who wants to take over this Instagram reel space of being like, oh yeah, look at how cool of a tattoo this person does. And I go like, highlight the people that not only make beautiful tattoos, but make tattoos that will last forever. And again, these people who make these reels don't know. They're not educated enough in tattooing to actually know what a good looking tattoo is and what a good looking tattoo forever will look like. They don't. They know nothing. And they look at these tattoos and they're like, yeah, of course they'll look great in 20 years. And it's like, nope, that tattoo's not gonna look anything like that in 20 years. So like, I guess my thing is like, I would really like to see more tattoo creator people who aren't tattooers. I don't mind that at all. But I do mind if they're not educated even a little bit. I go like, just because you have a couple tattoos or even a whole bodysuit doesn't mean you know nothing about tattoos. I can think in my head, I have like a handful of people who have way more tattoos than me, who are literally the dumbest people when it comes to tattooing. And I don't think that they would argue that. I don't think they care at all. They just want to have tattoos. So like there's a difference between like people who are really into tattoos and people who really understand tattooing. And if people like this are highlighting tattoos like this, it's clear that they don't know. All of these tattoos are gonna fade into nothing. The ones that are in black and gray, probably much better. But the color ones, like waste of time and a waste of talent. Next.
The PFD patch is a transparent silicone patch used during laser tattoo removal treatment. It enhances the effectiveness and safety of the procedure by improving how the laser interacts with the skin. The PFD patch makes the laser tattoo removal faster, safer, and potentially less painful, and it helps protect your skin from risk factors.
I love when people tell you things that just sound goofy. She's like, the transparent silicone makes it safer by the way the laser interacts with the tap. You're like, she literally said nothing. She was just like, yeah, this makes it a little bit better. Having said that, I'm actually genuinely stoked that tattoo laser is improving slowly but surely. I'm super into that. That was just a statement that came out in my head. It always just makes me laugh when people try and explain things in the most like, look how smart I am type of way, and you're left being like, just said some stuff and it didn't mean anything. But either way, I really liked seeing this. I want to see tattoo lasering improve, honestly. I think it won't. I think it's gonna be a long, slow process. I think that technologies like this need a lot of money to improve faster. And I just don't think tattoo laser has enough money to be like making crazy leaps and bounds in the next 20 years. Will it? Yes. Is it gonna take a long time? Yes. I'm here for it. I approve of it. I approve this message. Vote for Kirk. I'll be the tat president forever. The tat resident? I don't know, whatever. Call me Tobama, Kirkbama, the tat president. Next. Okay, so we have somebody doing some black and gray realism, freehand, no stencil, just straight to tattooing. I love with black and gray dudes, when they do this type of freehand stuff, they just kind of like make shapes with gray to kind of, and they're like, oh, I'll touch it up later, it'll look all nice. To me, this is a tattoo that looks like shit and probably should have been done with a stencil. And although the proportions on a lot of this are fine and all right, there's a lot of this tattoo that I just do not understand what I'm looking at. Am I looking at bat wings? Am I looking at spider webs? Am I looking at a stick and a branch and a negatives? What am I looking at? And it looks real scratchy. It looks real scratchy in there. And those grays look weak. You cannot convince me otherwise. I love watching tattooers just make tattoos without a stencil, without anything. They just go for it. I think it's a beautiful practice. I just think that a lot of times people who do it shouldn't be doing it at all. You know, it's kind of like, what's that free solo guy climbing mountains? It's like, if you're not Alex Honnold, maybe don't. You know, like you're gonna die if you try free soloing, if you're not Alex Honnold. And if you're not that guy in tattoo world, who there's no one who pops up into my brain who's like, that's the guy who should be doing stuff like this, then don't. You know, just draw it on with a Sharpie like a normal person, or put a stencil on like a really normal person. I'm just not that like convinced that this movement of like zero stencils, zero drawn on is a good idea for most people. I will probably do a handful in my tattooing career, and they will probably only be roses, let's be real. Like, I'm not doing much more other than that. Next.
This tattoo is not real, it's made with AI. Same with this one and this one. And actually this entire Instagram profile is AI generated tattoos. Clients are now going to have to be even more vigilant when it comes to selecting a tattoo artist, because this makes it even easier for scam artists to scam unsuspecting clients, and they can take deposits when none of this work is even real. Some of them are very convincing, but most of the time there are telltale signs that give you a hint as to whether or not the tattoo is real. The main things that give it away for me are things in the design that don't make sense. There are also giveaways that a tattoo is real. You can see where the ink went in, the little dots, there's imperfections in the skin, and tattoos.
Okay, so that's kind of crazy. A PSA for you guys, a public safety announcement, that's what they used to say. Look, AI is gonna be crazy. You are not gonna be able to tell the difference between a tattoo and a fake tattoo soon enough. I do not know as tattooers what we're gonna do to implement like in our tattoo and like show you that it's real, but we're gonna have to do something just to keep that scammy nature of the AI away, because that is the biggest thing. Like there are so many ways for scam artists to collect deposits from tattooers and just like wanting tattoos, and it's really a scary thing. Especially like even for myself, like as a public figure a little bit, like I do not want to see my name used in scams against clients. And then at the same time, I'm like, well, what am I gonna do about it? Like realistically, if you're gonna try and schedule something with me ever, make sure it's actually me. I don't know how, do your best. Ask me to send you a voice note and I'll say your fucking name out loud or your mommy's name, whatever you want. I'll do cameos. I'll do a cameo, a voice note cameo. You just give me a phrase, I'll say it out loud, and then you'll know. That's Kirk. Because I'll be like, fuck this, fuck you, go home. No, but yeah, it is really hard to tell what is AI and what's not AI, especially even in tattoo form. Like a couple of those tattoos, I was like, that's not real, holy shit. But yeah, keep an eye out. Don't be sending deposits all willy-nilly to nobody. Next, tattoo gore. Oh, I'm gonna make you watch. Oh, that's disgusting. Oh my God. Just wait. This is gonna be real bad, I'm sorry. If you feel sick, I'm sorry. I feel sick too watching it. We could enjoy this awfulness together. Oh, I'm hungry. I want some barbecue. Just wanted to show you guys. Why? I don't know, because it was gross. Because you all deserve to be grossed out every once in a while. Over the next few days, the top layer of the skin rotted off. That's exactly what it looks like. Like that is just foul. Make sure you're going to professionals. Make sure the professional is taking care of you. Make sure, don't get scammed. I don't know, all the different things. I'll see you in a few days.